Nanotech company SIXW Innovations is one of the most interesting companies we had the pleasure of speaking to lately. Today, we're talking to CEO Jonathan Gluckman to hear more about the progress the company made in recent months. Welcome, John.
Thank you. Thank you for having me again.
John, as the price of gold is at new record highs and many experts predict it still has room to move up further, GOLDINVEST would like to hear first from you about your IXOS gold extraction technology, of course. What progress did you make in that field? And since we last spoke back in April, let's say.
Yeah, this has been a fantastic year for us so far in the gold space. I think that the increase in gold prices certainly is making a lot of new properties come our way. We've been dealing with, I think, close to 15 new mines this year throughout the world, some in South America, one in Australia, some in Alaska. And it's been a great year for us, and we love the renewed interest and investments that the mining companies seem to be moving toward.
Okay, so you could say that the gold price rally offers new opportunities for Sixth Wave. I imagine at 1900 or above US dollars per ounce, projects that have not been deemed profitable in the past might now be considered anew. Perhaps especially using the IXOS technology?
Sure, that's a great point. We are finding that. Certainly there are greenfield projects that seem to be accelerating that we're involved with, but we've also got tremendous interest in tailings reclamation projects where the gold has already been mined, but now with the renewed pricing and the upward trend in gold prices, these become highly profitable projects. The IXOS product in some of those conditions is an exceptionally good option because the plant required to process those tailings is usually much smaller than an activated carbon plant. And sometimes those represent difficult problems in that water isn't necessarily available. And so we can have reduced water. Power may not be available at the mine anymore, so we can operate on a much lower power basis. But also, sometimes the reason that the gold is still in that ore is because it was a difficult ore, and in some of those conditions, IXOS is superior than activated carbon as well.
Do you have any numbers, preliminary or testing numbers, you can give us as an example of what the advantage of your technology is?
In general, we have several ways that we save money. One is reduced capital expenditures, which is always good. We have reduced operating expenses over activated carbon. And perhaps most importantly, as the gold prices continue to rise, a lot of the savings that we provide the mine is that we capture more of the gold than activated carbon does. We do that in two ways. We leave less in the leach solution and the spent leach solution or tailings. But more importantly, our product doesn't break down like activated carbon does. And so we don't have fines that are loaded with gold that end up into the tailings. And that can be, as much as 10 or 25 ounces a week or a month or a ton of spent activated carbon. So as you add those numbers up, that becomes significant savings for the mine.
Okay. Well, I guess let's talk about the so-called Green Alternatives Initiative now, because it's in the same field. You've been working this or starting this in collaboration with the CTRI and a major gold producer. What is the aim of that initiative, and what do you expect might be the outcome for Sixth Wave?
So the general research objectives for CTRI and working with industry partners like ourselves and then with a sponsoring mine activity is to try and prove out different leaching scenarios, either using different lixiviants or bioleaching and some of those, and then try and couple that with advanced technologies like IXOS for more efficiently and with a lower carbon footprint, being able to recover the gold for the gold mine. So we're very hopeful that our IXOS product will continue to produce positive results, better than those that can be achieved with activated carbon. We've already been able to demonstrate the lower carbon footprint requirements, and so this coupling is very important. The outcome of this project is to identify key technologies that the gold partner will take forward and implement into a full-size pilot plant, and then hopefully for wider adoption. So we're excited about the pathway that we're on here. We're very confident in our ability to add value.
Okay, very interesting. I mean, a lot of the same rationales can be applied to the one of the other sectors that 6W is active in, which is the cannabis sector. Technology, based on the same principle, loosely, I'd say, is called Affinity. When I looked at your latest press releases, there have been a lot of developments in the recent weeks and month. Can you give us an overview of where 6W is at in that regard?
So we have completely developed our technology for that. We're in the final design phases of the commercial units. We've signed up manufacturing both in Europe and now in North America. And we intend to be delivering our first revenue generating pilot plant here just in the next 30 to 45 days. We've been a little bit slow in that delivery because of COVID, but as some of those travel restrictions are easing, we're ready to go and do that. We have another major demonstration of that technology happening next week, and we've had tremendous interest. So our goal here is to be revenue generating in that product line here by next quarter. We should be churning out our first production level systems toward the end of the year, beginning of first quarter. And we have several homes that we're planning to install our second revenue generating pilot plant at before the end of the year.
Okay, so that basically covers my next question, where you want to be at the end of the year. Certainly sounds good to hear the words revenue generating. We'll see how it goes with the profit generating then at a later time, which has always been a problem in the cannabis industry. But that's also, we talked about this last time, a reason for the cannabis industry of trying to use your products. Well, we'll see how it goes. So a lot of progress on different fronts there. Despite of all that, though, the share price has been going sideways for roughly, let's say, the last 3 months at a relatively low level. Can you please explain and also explain how you want to create value for your shareholders in the future?
Yeah, I don't want to make any excuses. The company, launched and only started trading here in mid-February. Probably wasn't the best timing with what happened with COVID. And so, our goal has been to sustain ourselves through that, do what we can to promote the company, but we really didn't have very much time from that launch through COVID to try and bring awareness to the company and trading, and we're making changes to improve that. The company's real goal is to make sure that we're providing solid news to the media and to the shareholders that the company is proceeding forward and to be judged on our fundamentals. And, as a pre-revenue company, moving into revenue generation and then profitability, we think we're meeting those metrics, which should drive very high shareholder value and move the stock up and see trading improve. Although last week we started to see a lot more trading happening and the share price moving forward, and we expect to see that continue.
Okay, good to hear. Let's see how it goes. So let's sum up. Why, in your personal opinion, might right now be a good time for investors to take a closer look at 6W Innovations?
Well, I think all of us here are very bullish on the company. As I said, we've been extremely busy. We're in sectors that are still relevant, that haven't been hit necessarily as hard as other sectors from COVID. I think these are all positives. I think the most important thing to realize is that the company is successfully moving from a pre-revenue company into a revenue generating company. We're launching the products that we said that we were going to launch, and we have very strong consumer interest in our products. So I think it's a very good time as we transition in to take advantage of the share price as it is and grow with us.
Okay. Thank you very much. We're certainly looking forward to hearing more once your new Affinity machines are being installed, and we'll see how it goes. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. I look forward to catching up with you again.
Yeah.